The United Kingdom is on the brink of a crisis of its own making. There is no other way to describe the current surge in illegal immigration, particularly the reckless flow of small boats crossing the English Channel. What we are witnessing isn't just a failure of government policy, it's a direct threat to national security, local economies, and social cohesion. Yet, as the statistics pile up, and the problem becomes more urgent, the Labour government is fumbling with solutions, and in some cases, making things worse. In March 2025, over 4,000 migrants crossed the Channel. That's a 23% increase compared to last year, with 2,000 arrivals already this month alone. On a single day, March 2nd, a staggering 592 people landed in the UK in 11 boats. The scale of this problem is undeniable, yet the government's response remains timid and half-hearted. Conservative MP Matt Vickers was right to highlight the impact: a 28% increase in arrivals, a 29% rise in the number of migrants housed in hotels, and a serious strain on local economies. The numbers are rising, but the action remains tepid, ineffective, and dangerously complacent. The consequences of this inaction are already evident. Hotels across the country are being repurposed to house thousands of asylum seekers, reducing the number of rooms available for tourists and business travelers. It's no exaggeration to say this has wreaked havoc on local economies that rely on the tourism sector. It's not just the economic toll, it's the social costs too. Local services, healthcare, education, law enforcement are being stretched beyond capacity. Communities that were once vibrant and cohesive are now under pressure, with rising tensions over the integration of asylum seekers and growing resentment toward the government's inability to control the situation. The Labour Party's response, underpinned by its promise to end the use of hotels for asylum seekers, has been nothing short of a disaster. Angela Rayner's idea to shift responsibility to local authorities in 2026 might sound like a solution, but it's nothing more than a bureaucratic smokescreen designed to avoid accountability. Meanwhile, the Home Office is hemorrhaging cash, £5.5 million daily to house 38,700 asylum seekers in hotels, at a cost of £144 per person per night. This is a scandalous waste of taxpayers' money and a direct consequence of the government's failure to implement a coherent strategy. Even Labour's suggestion to explore dispersal accommodation, costing £14 per night per person, is little more than a desperate attempt to appear proactive while avoiding real action. There is no ambiguity here. The system is broken, and no amount of dithering or virtue signalling will solve the problem. The situation has only worsened because the Labour government continues to lack the political will to make tough decisions. The scrapping of the Rwanda plan was one of the most short-sighted moves in recent political history. The very idea of sending migrants to a safe third country was a pragmatic solution that had the potential to deter dangerous crossings and restore some control to our borders. Labour's knee-jerk abandonment of this plan, purely for political gain, has directly contributed to the current chaos. The rhetoric from Labour politicians has been equally troubling. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp has rightly criticised the government for its weak stance on illegal immigration. There is no time to pander to political correctness or humanitarian ideals when national security is at risk. The arrest of Abu Wad, an alleged supporter of Hamas, should be the clearest warning sign yet that unchecked illegal immigration presents a serious threat. If the government cannot prevent individuals with extremist ties from entering the country, how can it possibly claim to be serious about the safety of its citizens? This is not about vilifying migrants or demonizing those seeking refuge. It's about securing the integrity of our borders and ensuring that only those who are genuinely in need of asylum can make the UK their home. And let's not even begin to address the question of the effectiveness of the asylum application process. The bureaucratic delays, the legal loopholes, the endless appeals, all of these factors contribute to the ballooning backlog and an unsustainable reliance on temporary accommodation. The government is quick to blame international law and human rights considerations for its failures, but these should not be used as an excuse for inaction. Strong immigration controls that uphold the integrity of the system are not mutually exclusive with respect for human rights. A robust, effective system would eliminate the opportunities for exploitation by criminals and traffickers while ensuring that those with legitimate claims are processed quickly and fairly. If the Labour government truly cares about maintaining the UK's security, economy, and social fabric, it must act decisively. This is not the time for half measures or half-hearted promises. The government must reinstate the Rwanda plan, negotiate more effective return agreements with countries of origin, and prioritize the swift processing of asylum claims. Border security needs to be strengthened, and the resources currently wasted on hotel accommodation must be redirected into more sustainable solutions. The UK's immigration crisis is one of self-infliction. There is no other way to put it. The Labour government has had ample time to confront this issue head-on, yet it continues to bury its head in the sand. The UK cannot afford more dithering. The situation demands action, leadership, and above all, accountability. Without it, we risk plunging further into a crisis of our own making, one that will have long-lasting consequences for our communities, our economy, and our national security.